Welcome to this explainer. When most people think about international shipping, they picture these massive cargo vessels, towering dock cranes, or maybe some complex supply chain software. But today, we're going to unpack the surprising premise that the real key to your global shipping profitability actually lies in something entirely mundane. We're talking about the hidden engine of global trade. We're talking about pallets.
Seriously, think about this for a second. Could the absolute most boring object in your warehouse actually be costing you thousands of dollars in hidden fees? It's so easy to treat them as an afterthought, but this seemingly basic wooden platform is incredibly powerful. Just one poor choice here can trigger an outright cargo rejection, massive demurrage views at congested ports, and a severe loss of container space. Mastering this unassuming object is exactly how smart operators are gaining their edge.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for the explainer. We'll cover the high stakes of global pallets, weigh them against floor-loaded shipping, map out global standards, navigate some strict customs traps, learn to choose the right materials, and finally, we'll peek into the future of smart logistics.
Part 1. The high stakes of global pallets and your hidden bottom line. Listen, we need to establish right up front that pallets are not just an operational detail. They are a critical driver of your total landed costs. In modern shipping, margins are incredibly tight, and a single bad choice leads to real financial bleed. If you aren't compliant with ISPM 15 wood treatments, you face instant customs rejections. You can easily lose 10 to 20% of your container loading efficiency right off the bat. Plus, you'll see spikes in damage-related insurance claims from shifting cargo, and you totally expose yourself to surging demurrage and detention fees, particularly at busy GCC ports. But, on the flip side, optimizing your selection, often utilizing routing and simulation tools like Tendify, can actually help you recover up to 15% of your cargo space. That is real, tangible money saved on every single trip.
Moving right along to Part 2, Pallets versus Floor-Loaded Shipping, the Great Dilemma.
So, this is the foundational baseline question every single operator must answer before booking space. It's a major operational trade-off. On one hand, floor loading maximizes your total volumetric capacity. You squeeze way more product inside the container. But that volume gain comes with a severe cost. Contrast that with palletized shipping. Sure, it takes up a bit of space, but it eliminates crippling manual labor costs, significantly speeds up your cross-docking turnaround times, and drastically reduces your exposure to those really expensive port delays. You're basically trading raw volume for frictionless movement.
Section 3. Global Standards and Regional Rules. The Universal Language of Logistics.
Standardization is absolutely the foundation of cross-border trade. Think of pallets as a universal language spoken by forklifts, robots, and customs officials globally. This regional map is your guide, because forcing a mismatched pallet into a foreign supply chain guarantees massive friction. You have the EPAL, which is the untouchable standard for Europe and the GCC. There's ISO Standard 1, perfect for heavy industrial bulk over in the UK. ISO North America is meticulously designed to fit the 96-inch internal width of US trailers. And ISO Standard 5, that's a perfectly square configuration optimized specifically so there's literally zero wasted floor space in tight Asian Ocean containers.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the specific number highlighted here, 78. The EPAL standard enforces ruthless standardization, dictating everything from the wood species down to exactly 78 perfectly placed nails. Because it is so highly regulated and rigorously heat-treated, a genuine EPAL pallet acts as a rigorous fast pass right through stringent European customs checkpoints.
But if you're targeting the Americas, the rules completely shift. The Grocery Manufacturers Association, or GMA pallet, is practically the law for fast-moving consumer goods entering the US and Canada. North American retail giants, like Walmart, Costco, they absolutely demand these specific 48 by 40-inch standard block pallets. Failing to comply here triggers instant financial penalties and forces you to pay third-party crews for mandatory manual restacking before your buyer will even look at your delivery. No thanks.
And then there's the Oceania bottleneck. Australian pallets present a massive strategic headache because they measure 1165 millimeters squared. Why? Because they're engineered for domestic rail, not for standard maritime ISO containers. If you load them into a 40-foot ocean container, they leave massive dead space. So the strategic trade-off here is that smart exporters ship their goods on standard ISO pallets to maximize ocean space and then specifically budget for 3PL teams to execute a mandatory repalletization upon arrival in Australia.
All right, part 4, navigating strict customs regulations, or as I like to call them, the compliance traps.
The legal and regulatory enforcement surrounding pallets has literally never been stricter. Look at this Middle East customs alert, for instance. Authorities in major hubs, most notably Saudi Arabia through their Sabre platform and the UAE, maintain incredibly strict enforcement policies. They actually link specific HS codes to compulsory palletization. Let me warn you right now. Attempting to clear floor-loaded shipments under these restricted tariff lines in the GCC will result in catastrophic delays, immediate rejection, and compounding demurrage costs.
But check this out. Even when you follow the rules perfectly, physics can still work against you. Enter the mold voyage phenomenon. Heat-treated wood pallets are highly hygroscopic, which means they basically strip moisture right out of the air. When you lock them inside a dark, humid ocean container for weeks at sea, they create this intense greenhouse effect, and that can rapidly grow mold that entirely destroys sensitive cargo, like food-grade goods or premium packaging.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is ISPM 15 compliance. All wood must be heat-treated or fumigated to kill pests. Non-compliance means your cargo faces immediate rejection or total destruction. But it's not just about getting the stamp. There is a very high risk of counterfeit stamps floating around in volatile or emerging corridors. Advanced EU and US customs protocols will instantly flag fraudulent stamps. This is exactly why experts emphasize constantly auditing your brokers and demanding legitimate heat treatment certificates to avoid absolute cargo destruction.
Part 5. Choosing the right pallet material to engineer your success.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer material science aspect of pallets, breaking down exactly which material fits which global route. Look at the variety at your disposal. Wooden pallets give you an excellent strength-to-cost ratio. Plastic pallets give you incredible hygiene and durability without the hassle of ISPM 15 treatments. Metal pallets provide extreme load capacity and fire resistance for heavy machinery, while cardboard pallets are incredibly lightweight and perfectly suited for air freight where weight is literally money. You also have to consider your structural design, things like two-way stringer pallets versus four-way block pallets.
Now, this number right here represents a massive operational advantage, 30 to 50%. That is how much lighter high-density plastic pallets are compared to standard wood. Because they are so lightweight, easily sanitized, and totally bypass ISPM 15 phytosanitary treatments altogether, they are the absolute perfect choice for modern temperature-controlled cargo, pharmaceuticals, and sensitive medical shipments.
Let's turn all of this theory into an actionable checklist, shall we? Step 1. You have to understand your cargo's weight, fragility, and regulatory needs. Step 2. Map your route and destination warehouse systems. Step 3. Calculate your total cost of ownership, meaning you must factor in weight penalties in freight and wood treatment costs, not just the upfront purchase price. And Step 4. Run a 3D container optimization. Tools like Tendify let you virtually visualize the container fit so you can squeeze every single inch of value out of your booking.
Finally, Part 6. Smart Pallets and Future Logistics, the 2026 Tech Upgrade.
Let's look at how enterprise operators are dramatically optimizing their systems today. The reality is that reverse logistics, shipping empty pallets all the way back home, is a severe financial drain. But abandoning premium pallets at your destination absolutely kills your margins. So the enterprise solution is utilizing global pallet pooling networks like CHIP. Smart traders are shifting away from buying liabilities to renting circular assets. You basically rent standard certified pallets at your origin, and the network provider handles the recovery and maintenance at the destination. It turns a massive bottleneck into a simple, predictable operating expense.
And the hardware itself, it's evolving fast. We are moving way past basic passive RFID tracking. The reality of 2026 requires smart pallets embedded with Bluetooth low-energy sensors and cellular gateways. We're talking about the live logging of triaxial structural shocks to detect cargo damage as it happens, plus real-time microclimate temperature and humidity data. These smart pallets stream live telemetry to central APIs, which allows logistics operators to spot transit anomalies and mitigate their insurance risks while the container is still out at sea. It's a real game changer.
So I want to end this explainer with a challenge for you. If global trade consistently rewards those who master the overlooked details, what hidden profits could you unlock by rethinking your pallet strategy today? The difference between a good operator and a great one often comes down to mastering these exact foundational details. Take a hard look at the platform sitting under your cargo, apply what we've covered today, and watch your supply chain margins improve. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.